to today's show, Barmy Badger Army. Welcome. Today we're going to do a review on this week's Beano. As usual, right, here we go. We've got the Beano in nice bright letters, which I love. 100% comics, jokes and pranks and lots of fun and games. Now, this is a great little cover involving, I hope, to be an ongoing character. They sort of slowly drip fed them in. It is advertising a new book, which I'll try and pick up myself. In fact, we pre-ordered it. And it's the story IP Daley and the story no one wanted to read. And this is leading on to a Bash Street Kids book that's coming out with Dennis and the gang. So I do hope that IP Daley comes back into it, because it's going to be interesting. What I did notice, which was great for Pride Month, is there's different colours on the jumper, and I think that's great. And it does meld in with Dennis and, of course, Minnie the Minx's style jumpers. So maybe it's going to be another type of menace coming up, and also a Pride menace. Wouldn't that be interesting? But you get what I mean, don't you? So I think this is going to be a fun thing, and it's going to be really interesting with someone with the Pride flag in a regular comic like the Beano. I think is fantastic, so that's great. And of course you've got Dennis with the stereotypical slingshot ammo. You've got some of the other characters with like a water pistol there. You've got Nasher up to mischief. You've got Pie Face rolling around a massive pie. And it's great to see Dennis back on form with bow and arrows and everything. Great stuff. And it's been a while since we've seen that cheeky grin. Great. Right, that's enough about the cover. Right, here we go. Here we go. So we got this week's Beano boss, which is great. Look at that. They're up to mischief with chickens and all sorts of stuff, which I think is fantastic. Look at that. Really fun, isn't it? And of course I really like the idea of the Beano boss, you know, where they get to choose all the different stuff. I must sign Badger Jr. up for that. Right, Dennis the Menace Unleashed is what starts off the storyline of IP Daley and the book. And of course this is really interesting how they've come for an interview and all that sort of stuff, and I think that's really interesting. You've got the mayor with his evil face there. I think it's great. The school inspector, Mr. Stab, and his normal face. This is when the inspector has to inspect Bash Street School. And I think that's hilarious, you know, when you've got that. And you've got the mayor's stereotypical evil mischief there. No one can get Mayor's app on your phone, for it's Mayor's only. The other mayors laugh at me, Mayor's app. It's time for drastic measures. And you've got Parps there and everything. Look at that radioactive Parp. Always great. But yeah, I think this one's an interesting little story, and it does lead on to the book, which is great. And look at that, exploding pies. If you guys like pork pies, hit me up in the comments and let me know your favourite. Mine's Melton Mulberry. Now, look at this. It's insane that he's got like massive pie crust all over him. This is Dennis and everyone on top form, definitely. Oh, it's hilarious stuff. Really good. So that's a nice little opening story. There you go. And of course, the secrets of Bash Street Kids School revealed by IP Daley. And that's at the Battle for Bash Street Kids, Battle for Bash Street School book coming out soon. Where did kittens go on school trips? To the museum. Brilliant. In this one we got, now this is really interesting. I love it when they do these and you get like a map of Bash Street School. I think that's great. So I'm just going to zoom in a bit for you, and look, you got all these different things there, where all the different classes are. Weird and wonderful doors lead to nowhere and all sorts of stuff. I think that's great. You know, and you got the assembly hall, music room, gym, swimming pool, door, it's always locked and no one knows where the key is. Head's office, eek. There's an old door here, sometimes weird. So there's a door there that's there sometimes and disappears other times. How strange is that? Perhaps that's leading on to back into the real world, as some people believe that the Beano is actually a comic book all about an artificial simulation these days. But who knows? Maybe that's true, maybe it's a glitch. Who knows? But yeah, you got the greenhouse, the woodwork, the art department, the school archive, which is interesting, and of course Bash Street Kids School. There you go. Right. So there's a lot in this week's issue. A lot of it all revolves around a summer trip, or everyone going to the seaside, which I think is great because it is around that time of the year now, isn't it? Right. So even Betty the Yeti are up to mischief. They've gone camping this week in Betty and the Yeti. And of course it carries on from last week how Betty and the Yeti get up to mischief, and Yeti's eating loads of rubbish and stuff, literally. And there's a Sasquatch Steve up there, and of course he gets up to mischief with Sasquatch Steve. Look what you did, Steve. Accuse I this mess up. Huh? What did I do? Phew, we lit to alley, got away with that. See, it always blamed on Sasquatch Steve. What do you call a spaceship that drips water? A crying saucer. Oh dear. Of course, you've got a word search there with How to Be a Hero. I think that's a new book coming out. So yeah, do check that. Bash Street Kids School. This week, Bash Streets is all about Teacher of the Year awards. So poor old teacher, years and years of service, not collecting in his pension, because trust me, you probably should by now. I think he started teaching in 1937 or something like that. So, you know, I think he deserves it by now, but who knows? The worst teacher. So they crossed off the best to put worst. And this is fantastic because do you remember what I said the other week where I was a bit worried Bash Street Kids was epic failing as a strip? Well, this week is on top form again. You know, you got all sorts of stuff happening there. You got Wilfred, Spotty, Toots, Danny, Smithy, Harsha, Sydney, Freddie, Mandy, and Herbert and Plug, all on top form. You know, there you go. I think it's great. Of course, Freddie used to be Fatty, but they've changed that slightly. I'm just pleased they didn't change the design of the character, because that could have happened and that would have been poop. So at least they only changed his name. But yeah, I think it's hilarious that he's got worst teacher there. Beano Joke Awards, so you can fill in your own joke awards there. You know, the comedy awards are always fun to watch on TV, aren't they? I don't know if you've seen those. They're usually on ITV. I don't know if they've done that for a few years actually, because of COVID and whatnot, but they were fun. Once again, Calamity James up to mischief. I feel like Calamity James today. I'm very clumsy today. I've hurt my leg. I tripped over several times all on one morning. So it's not been a good morning like that. I've been very clumsy. The fun fair's in town. So everyone's either at the fun fair or at the beach. I think it's great. And of course, James, in stereotypical fashion, gets taught up by the ghost train and gets himself in trouble. Help, there's monsters in there. So all the ghosts and that are running off from James. I think that's fantastic. Oh dear. Roger the Dodger at the seaside, up to mischief. You know, of course, he does get himself in a lot of trouble with Cruncher, and they brought Cruncher back actually. I haven't seen Cruncher for a few weeks, but Cruncher Kerr is back in Roger the Dodger and Minnie the Minx, I think. So that was great. Seeing back the sort of naughty bullies and the sort of mischievous kids getting the own back on the bullies is always hilarious. And Cruncher slipping over a load of ice cream, which I think is great. And you've got some of the other characters there as well, which I think is great. Dan and all that lot. It's fantastic. Right, here we go. Now, Minnie the Minx this week is good, but I'll talk about that in a sec. First, we've got Billy Whiz rushing through his homework with Pie Face and the gang, which I think is great. No Ball Boy this week, but this one's all about football. See, this is what I was going to mention. This last week was or was it the week before, was the Ball Boy special, right? Where's Ball Boy gone again? He's like been hidden away again. So they spent the whole comic book building Ball Boy up, and he had a special adventure talking about him. But yet he's nowhere to be seen again. Come on, guys. Ball Boy, you did a whole issue about him, which was great, and now you sort of lost the character again when you talked about football. Come on. Let's do this. Come on, you know better, Beano. Right, here we go. Minnie the Minx. She's tougher than all the boys. They go on an adventure at the seaside with all the paddle boats. And of course, Minnie the Minx causes mischief with Cruncher falling in the sea and all sorts of stuff. And of course a bit of a meta joke there, of course, that Minnie the Minx is reading the Beano. And they do actually do that in Marvel, don't they, where they read, you know, in Marvel sometimes they reference the characters have got the comics and stuff. So yeah, that was fun. Really good little strip there, and Minnie the Minx up to terrible mischief. One of my actual favourites this week, I always praise the art in Ruby's Screw Top Science, but I've not actually mentioned about the story, and I think this week's one's hilarious. You've got some, you know, Sonic references, you've got Minecraft references, you've got Street Fighter there, you've got all sorts of stuff, Mario as well, and they're really interesting the way they've done a VR simulation for homework, and it's sort of gone wrong, but right at the same time, so that was really good. Ruby's Screw Top Science is one of my favourite strips this week. Yes, definitely. Dan's at the beach after the cheeky bunch of Smirk, which I think is great. That's a fun little strip there. He's managing to get all of them and have fun at the beach as well, which I think is great. And it's been a while since we've actually seen some Smirk agents that are like normal agents, if you will. Usually it's like the top bosses, but yeah, he manages to get them all. I think that's cool. And of course you've got to spot the Smirk there, you know, which is fun. I really do like that, yeah, which is cool. And then you're able to spot the Smirk. Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, he's frozen them all in the time. There you go. And of course you got Angel Face Investigates, featuring the Bash Street Kids and of course some of the guys. And you got, you know, a bit of fun there really. And of course they're all after him all the time, you know, and never get themselves any good. I've called you here to tell you the sweet snatcher was me, Minnie. Me, where's the sweets? I hired you. So they all nick the sweets. And of course, JJ freewheeling freestyle fun, up to mischief with drones and breaking footballs and smashing trees and all sorts of stuff. So that's well worth it. Okay. Banana Man, always on top form, you know. And once again, thank you very much for featuring Eric as well. Even in the first bit, it's great to see Eric in the stories. And you got, of course, Banana Man against General Blight. And General Blight takes the colour away from Beanotown's favourite superhero, Banana Man, and makes him see-through, which is rather bizarre. Indeed. So that was always fun. What an exciting, yeah, lots of colourful adventures. So yeah, do check that one. That was a fun little strip. When is a sailor not a sailor? When they're aboard. Oh dear. So that was good. Okay, let's have a look. You got this week's Beano guys there. Please do check that. Indeed. Be More Beano, you know, where you send in photos and stuff. Right, here we go. Ha-Ha's Joke Shop, even there at the sea, which is great. And you've got Calamity Janes causing mischief when they think there's a shark attack. And you've also got Betty and the Yeti there as well, which I think is good. I love it when they incorporate all the different strips into those. And the only person you're missing is Bull Boy and Let's Pretend this week, so come on. Badger Jr. always wants me to do this, where he's trying to get me to want a jelly, which I think is hilarious. And we sort of keep asking each other if we want jellies, and we're going to put each other's action figures in this jelly, I think, eventually. So that's a fun little easy prank, where you can sort of put someone's action figure in a jelly, which is hilarious. Indeed, numbskulls this week is always fun, involving sneezing and lots of baking during the summer holidays, I'm guessing. Oh no, it looks like they're still at school, so yeah, they're up to mischief there. A sneeze could come without warning, look at that. So yeah, do check that. That was a good little strip there. And of course, Dennis, Nasher, Dennis's friend. There you go. And you got old school Dennis there, up to mischief, letting the guys off on the lead. Are you sure? Would you let a menacing dog off on the lead? Definitely not. That naughty Nasher and Nipper causing trouble and getting Dennis Senior a very big bill. So do check that. And of course, next week we've got Sky Shark Attack. It looks like Beanotown's favourite superhero is going to be kicking butt and attacking sharks during the summer. So that's great. You know, I love some of the jokes this week. It was a really fun issue. Obviously, Footballing Francesca is there as well. Once again, another time when you could have incorporated Ball Boy. You've only just done a special thing on him, and yet he's not here. Come on, even if he was just in the background. You missed a trick there, guys. But I do love the fact that Cheetahs FC get their comeuppance. So that's really fun. And it was great to see Beanotown's favourite menace back on top form on the front cover. Yeah, so all in all, a very good issue, and I enjoyed some of the smaller strips this week. But yeah, definitely my favourite one this week would be Ruby Screwtop Science, and of course Minnie the Minx. That was fun, and it felt like some of the others were leading up to the new book that's coming out. So do check that, and it's going to be interesting to see how Teacher responds next week to getting the Worst Teacher Award. Right, thanks very much for watching, guys. Look after yourselves, keep safe, keep well, and I'll see you in the next vlog, video or stream. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe if you're new, and I really hope you enjoyed today's episode. Bye!